friends, and welcome back to the Glasgow South Model Tram and Rail workshops. Today we're going to have a wee look at couplings and how to uncouple your stock on your model railway layout. Of course, there's that many different types of couplings that you can get. You've got the KD, and you've got various different sizes of tension lock couplings, and being quite honest about it, your choice is unlimited really. But we're going to have a look at the tension lock coupling that you can get, and I'll let you see a wee tool that our club made to uncouple your stock. And once I've got the camera set up, I'll be back. So here we are, friends, and I know some of you, as I said before, used to take KDs, some of you swear by them, but they are rather expensive to buy, especially if you've got a lot of stock to convert. Some of you have your coaches in rakes so that you don't break them up, and you just fit the KDs to the locomotive in the first coach at each end. In our own layout, Maxwell Wharf, we have 4 of the Gauge Master electromagnetic couplings installed. Electromagnetic uncoupling ramps installed, and we use them. But and the reason for that is because we can't physically reach into the platform, because there's a scenic section that bolts on, and then you've got the panel on the outside of that, and it's just physically impossible. But in other areas of the layout, we have an uncoupling pole. Now, a lot of people don't like this method because they say, oh, they got the arm from heaven. But when you think about it, that's exactly what happened. There was a man who ran alongside the wagons with a pole and unhitched the 3-link coupling. So in effect, it's quite realistic. So we devised this wee bit of apparatus here. I'll try and zoom it in a wee bit to let you a wee more detail. And there's 2 versions you can do of this. You can either just have the wire and a bit of wire along, and that's alright for coaches that are, you maybe got the corridor connections between and you can't really see, and you can just put the wire in. But we put a paddle on the end of it, so that you slip that right under the coupling, lift up, and the 2 vehicles will separate. That's fine. You can make this rod here as long as you want. You may be wondering what this bit at the end's for. Well, we've got a wee alteration that we made. This here is one of the pen lights. See, it's got a light. So when you slide that on there and then switch it on, the bit on the paddle is lit up so you can see where the coupling is, and we find that really beneficial. Very, very simple thing to make. A bit of wire coming down, turn it to an angle, take a file and flatten one side of it, and then solder it to the paddle, and it's as simple as that. There is an updated version. Hold on a wee minute to zoom out a wee bit. There we are. Don't want you to lose the picture. There's an updated version of this light where it's got an LED inside it instead of a bulb. This one's got the old filament bulb with the magnifier on the end of it. You used to get them in torches and stuff like that, but we find this really beneficial for uncoupling our wagons, and that just, you're shunting in a yard, just undo the wagons, because you've got to remember that the magnetic uncoupling ramp, although it's beneficial, it's fixed in a certain area, and you might not want to unhook there, you might want to work somewhere else, and this is where this comes in. You can, in theory, you can make them with plastic. It might be a little bit more difficult to get this round bit in plastic, but you could get the rod and you could get a sheet for the bottom. In fact, they are available commercially. I think Smart Models do them, but I found that looking at them, the paddle was a wee bit too thick for my liking. So that's why we went for the brass thin brass sheet just underneath the wagons, and there you are. I'll try and do a wee demonstration of this. I'll be back in a minute. So here we are again, friends, and I've got two of my Grizzly coaches here that, sorry it's not on track, it's just sitting on the actual board, but I'll try and demonstrate this. Put the light on so we can see. This is actually a wee bit out, it's a wee bit bent actually, this. There we are, and you just put that under there, lift, put the, and they come apart. Try and do that for the other side, let you see it a bit better. Underneath, you've got to make sure you get it underneath both coaches. And there it is. Comes apart, no problem. Seems to have jammed itself somehow. Don't know whether I think one of the couplings over thingied the other one. I think it crossed over, and that's why it wouldn't. There you are. Works to a T. So there we are, folks. Another wee tip for your motor railway. So there we are, guys and girls, by the way, must include the women. Another wee tip with those of us who don't want to put KDs on their layouts, because they are rather expensive. If you've maybe a couple of hundred wagons and coaches to do, it would be rather expensive. We have tried it on the different sizes of tension locks. We've even mixed them up, and they've always worked. You know, sometimes the Bachmann one is a bit footery because it's so narrow. I don't like these wee narrow ones, I really don't. So we were actually looking at changing them for the slightly broader one. I just wish that the manufacturers would decide universally to stick with one coupling, because it's getting beyond a joke. Everybody's bringing out new ones. I know some of the modern stock have special couplings on the real thing, and they're trying to imitate that. But those units are always permanently coupled really, except for maintenance. But if you've got the older style railway, the tension lock's the easiest to do, and I hope this has helped. Thanks to the guy on YouTube, by the way, who actually said that the workshops are really good. The fact that I don't kind of condense them, I try to not make them too long, but at the same time I don't skimp on strip downs and stuff like that. There was one chap that was doing a strip down on a ring field, and when it got to the crucial bit that the folk coming into the hobby wanted to see, he speeded it up double speed, and there was quite a couple of comments, and I tried to tell him, and the answer was, well, I've only had a couple of comments, everybody else is happy. Some of them were saying that the workshop was too long, and I said, okay, fair enough, I take that point, but if you're going to have a workshop that's too long, split it into parts 1 and part 2, and that's the way around it. So guys, nice wee workshop we've done today, and I hope it's benefited you. Let us know what you think. It's alright to get the likes, as I've said before, but if you've got a workshop that you want to see, let us know and we'll try and accommodate it. I've said it before, the one that I can't really help you with is DCC. I know the basic knowledge of it, like your electrofrog points and stuff like that, sorting that out. So there we are, that's just me rambling on, of course. But keep on modelling, keep on shooting, and may God bless you.